I saw an erotic Miss Piggy image on Twitter the other day. Every single reply, at Jeff Keighley, at Jeff Keighley, at Jeff Keighley. Every single one. It's relentless.
Can you please, first of all, Jeff's post when she said she was on a girls' trip in New York. Absolutely incredible. But can we please go back to what the hell is an erotic Miss Piggy image?
I can't show it to you right now. We get demonetized. I can't describe it because I'm a gentleman. I'm just saying it's an erotic Miss Piggy image and people were tagging Jeff Keighley, okay? The streets.
Can we set the record straight? I think all three of us can. Miss Piggy's hot, right? Like, I think she's pretty hot.
I think she's got the energy. I wouldn't call her hot, but I think she's, I think energy can be sexy, and I think Miss Piggy has the diva.
It's very safe.
Like, different strokes, Jake. Different strokes, man.
Okay.
Each to his own. Okay. To his own. Oh, man. Anyway.
Where do we go from there, from erotic Miss Piggy?
That's a welcome right there. That's a warm welcome.
We'll just go straight to the sponsor. The sponsor will love that. They'll put that in the
the hottest Muppet?
Oh, that's a good question.
The one with the eyelashes, Janice? There aren't really that many female Muppets for you guys, so...
I get Muppets mixed up with Sesame Street, so I got to be careful.
They're all Jim Henson.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Aren't Muppets Sesame Street? What the fuck? The Muppets are on Sesame Street, right?
No,
the Muppets are their own
Sesame
thing.
Street characters are on Sesame Street.
But isn't there some crossover? Like, there's this. They're all the same thing, right? Like, they make cameos.
The most ambitious crossover in cinema history.
Oscar the Grouch comes out of the Spider-Man No Way, like the Doctor Strange portal. He's like, "We need you to save Fozzie Bear."
Absolutely.
God.
Yeah. I don't know. I never really grew up watching Sesame Street. I do like the Muppets a lot.
I was a big Mr. Rogers guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we never had him.
I thought he was like before your time. Was he? Was he not? Was he? He was before your time?
We had, I guess, like cable TV, like it was like all reruns. So I grew up watching like old Looney Tunes, old Bugs Bunny, stuff like Thundercats and Mr. Rogers.
I used to watch.
That was very similar in the UK. I watched a lot of like Looney Tunes and everything. And but did you have Biker Mice from Mars?
Oh, dude,
yeah, sure.
That and Skeleton Warriors. Come on.
I for some reason, like, 'cause I used to watch Nickelodeon as a kid on like cable, Foxtel, we have it here, but then like Nick at Night would come on at like 8 o'clock. I don't know if you guys had Nick at Night as well.
Yeah.
And then it would just start playing really old shit. So I would be like watching like Mary Tyler Moore when I was a kid. And I was like,
yeah, that was me with
Mary
I Love
Tyler
Lucy. I was like, this is great.
Me too, man. I was watching it. I was like, this is quality. I get this. This is funny. I understand the jokes. I'm into this. Me at like 8 years old or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like,
See, that was me, but with watching Frasier.
oh,
you are the Frasier person of the group, definitely.
my brother's just so obsessed with Frasier. They like Frasier. They really think it's like the greatest comedy ever made. Like they've watched multiple times. They're all about Frasier.
I was the nanny. The nanny was my shit. Dude.
You would, man. You
Incredible.
would.
Yeah.
100%. That's just
She's
come on.
stunning. Back
She's the
then,
best.
those little dresses.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mr. Sheffield. Oh my God.
oh, Mr. Sheffield.
It was fantastic. But now she's like a sick ass union organizer.
She's a union
She
rights
was
advocate.
she
or
was
something,
head of
right?
SAG, and now it's Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings and the Goonies.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Should we talk about video games?
There's definitely some stuff to talk about this week. Luckily, not a lot of diabolical Xbox news. It's really nice to not
We
have
are
to
deciding, you know what? You get the energy that you put out into the world, and we are going to talk about some other stuff for a change.
I will say that we're actually recording this on like a Wednesday in the United States. So if Xbox goes out and like sacks thousands of people tomorrow, you'll know why we're saying there's no Xbox news. It's because it hasn't happened yet. So
yeah. Or Sony says now, like Sony comes out and they're like, we're not only just going all digital, we're also burning all discs we currently have in production.
Yeah, we are snapping them
people
over.
open up their cases and it just like just bursts and like combusts and they're like, damn it, not this one too.
Herman, please.
No, good week.
Yeah, we're trying to be a little more positive. And that's not to say we're ignoring the Double Fine news or anything. Like, obviously we empathize, but it's just, Yeah.
That double
Still
fine news
developing.
briefly is that 25 people are being laid off from the studio, which you know that was very much to be expected given the fact that they've now spun out and become independent. They're sort of doing what they can to recalibrate themselves and get ready for a different mode of survival. It's a real bummer, but yeah, that's kind of what we all expected would happen. So yeah. Anyway, we're not going to do deep dive Xbox news.
No,
we are going to do deep dive on an Xbox game though.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with that one? Do you want to start with? I mean, we've got 3 big ones to dive into.
I think we should intro the show first.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
We're a video game podcast. This is Friends Per Second. This is episode 101. Okay, so we said at the end of last episode that this would technically be our 100th episode, and we didn't want to do it online. We wanted to do something in person and make a big deal out of it. So we are just skipping 100, and we've gone straight to 101. This is episode 100 technically, but in our hearts, this is episode 101, and we're just going to carry on with that. We
are going to go back and record an episode 100 the next time we are together, and we'd like to plan some special stuff for it, whatever. That's not going to be anytime soon, though, because I'm not traveling for the next little bit. I mean, we're going to set into release mode schedule for the next few months because everything is coming out, and I've actually had to cancel some trips and whatever because I saw how insane September was, and I'm like, well, I just have to be here playing video games nonstop, like chained to my desk, not sleeping, just like having food intravenously introduced to my system. Like that's going to be my existence. So we will find a way to be together at some point, and then we'll properly do the 100 because we want to do it right. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Episode 100 right now does not exist, but it will one day, and it will show up in your feed, and you're going to be like, wow, what is this?
Please.
So for anyone who asks,
please be excited about episode 100.
Yeah. Yes.
No, so that's basically all of our little housekeeping. We have lower thirds. We don't introduce ourselves. If you're joining us on episode 101, hopefully you know who we are. We see Ralph and Jake, depending on where Stu puts us in the boxes. But yeah, we're a video game podcast. We should talk about some games. Shall we start with what do you guys want to do? What do you guys do? Dealer's choice.
I reckon let's just knock over Halo.
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way. Halo. Let's go.
John Halo. So I have not, I do have code for it, but I have not managed to get to it. And also in terms of my background with being a Halo person is that like, played a bunch of Halo, you know?
Okay.
But it never has really been a core game for me. And so I think any changes in Campaign Evolved would probably be a little lost on me, which is why I'm coming to you two, the experts. A little nod of the head there.
Well, I mean, experts is very strong. When it comes to Halo, there's like proper experts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's
people,
freaks.
Just
people who know more than me. Does he shit in the suit?
No, the suit jerks him off.
The suit jerks him off. That's right. Okay. It's a beautiful perpetual motion system as well. It's really clever. That's that's why they added sprint in this actually to increase the efficacy of the jerk off. The jerk off power generation, you know. It's all about the kinetic chain.
Top line is Campaign Evolved good.
Yeah, look, it's a big question. I look, just as a background for anyone who isn't aware, so Halo Campaign Evolved is a remake of the original Halo Combat Evolved. It is only the single player component of it, though. It does not include any multiplayer, and it is very faithful to the original, but it does make some changes. Particularly, it reimagines the library level, which was kind of the most controversial or least loved level for the original game. And it also makes some, smaller changes to other levels as well, but they don't really change the substance of them. But it makes a lot of other changes along the way to kind of modernize the game. It's also running an Unreal Engine, and that results in a lot more graphical fidelity in some areas, but it also results in some graphical stylings related to the sort of the way that Unreal Engine works or how it can be used or how, Halo Studios have used it here. And there's some pros and cons with that as well. But yeah, look, it's $50. There's like a $70 version you can get that just has some fucking bullshit skins in there. You can't even unlock them via gameplay or whatever. So I just don't know what that is, but anyway, whatever. It has 4-player campaign co-op, which is a nice new addition. Really cool, actually. as well as 2-player split screen. But I didn't even know this, but to be able to play split screen, the person on the couch next to you also needs to have a Microsoft account. And they need to link that account to the person who's. So if you're playing with your like 6-year-old kid, you got to make a fucking Microsoft account for them so they can play. It's so stupid. It's so unbelievably stupid, but that's how it is. So, so that's kind of the background to it. I just put out my video last night at the time of recording. So I spoke about it a lot, and I'll talk about it here more. But Jake, I'm interested in your views because I did watch the Before You Buy. And I also watched your other video on Jake Paldino as well. So for anyone who hasn't seen that, tell us, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, it's like Lucy said, top line, is it good? For me, I kind of went into it more like, is it good enough? Like, and it doesn't feel like it really is. I think for the average person, they might think, cool, this is great. I like the little extra stuff. It looks cool. But the more I played through it again, the more I messed with the stuff, for me, it's not quite there. I played it and I felt it was fine. My verdict is like, yeah, it's fine. It's all right. But I don't think that's what the franchise needs right now. And I think Halo, the original Halo, Combat Evolved, deserves more in terms of a remake, because it's almost like, what was it worth? Like, a lot of people look at the Master Chief Collection and they're like, they could just play that version. And I kind of tend to agree in a lot of ways. For me, the only thing that really it's not bad, but for me, what helped elevate it, and I've dealt with some criticism with people like, oh, you're kind of like being soft on it. You're not being hard enough on it. Yeah. But what helped me kind of like, or because it's just like, I go by feel, right? And so what helped me kind of feel a little bit more positive about it is that I played through with a family member that also loves Halo. They're a little bit more casual. They had a hell of a good time. And so in turn, I kind of had a better time. It was really only till after where I went and I messed more with campaign remix mode and stuff like that, which I do like. And the 3 other like new bonus missions that I kind of felt, I'm like, yeah, it's fun, but like, I wish there was more to it. I wish it was better. I wish, the encounters felt better, not worse. I wish that, technically it even performed better. I played on Xbox Series X, and like the last third of the game had moments where it tanked frame rate wise.
I heard about this actually, because I watched a Digital Foundry video and they were very complimentary of the performance. But then because I played on PC and on a high-end PC, so it ran well for me. But then people were telling, like in the comment section, Reddit, whatever, people were saying like performance on PS5 and Xbox is pretty bad at times. Like the frame rate really chugs down. So I was surprised to hear that, because I just thought from an optimization perspective, it seemed pretty solid. But apparently that's not the case.
Yeah, true. Like, I guess like true to the original Halo, where it would chug when a lot of stuff was going on screen. But that happened a lot for me. And like, I noticed like the kind of like look you get when like, I guess like the resolution is kind of like downscaling itself a little bit. So, it definitely is. It felt kind of rushed to me. Like it just didn't have enough time in the oven. I liked playing through Halo, being able to hijack and being able to pick up an SMG or pick up the sword that you wouldn't normally do in Halo 1. Stuff like that helped make it a little bit more fun. But again, I just think my ultimate verdict was like, it's not really good enough.
So I have sort of 2 lines of questioning that I want to pick apart with you guys. One is the graphical side of things. Because Ralph, you kind of said that, like, maybe... Hang on, what did you say? You said something.
Long story short, like, you get Unreal Engine.
Yeah, so you get everything is beautiful.
Well, yes, or in a way, but then there's also a flip side to its beauty, because an engine an engine is just an engine. Is what you use to build things, right? And then you can use it in different ways. And Unreal Engine has some things baked into it, particularly with regards to like the way it handles reflections and global illumination and different things. So you can use those tools to produce certain outcomes, and the way that Halo Studios have used these tools, I don't think results in good outcomes. So, a really good example is like Covenant architecture. So that's the purple stuff that you see around everywhere. And I think it's really ugly, because first of all, from an art design perspective, everything's just purple. Everything's completely washed out with just a single purple color or different shades of purple all the way through. There's no real texture to the sort of color palette as you're moving through it. And then with regards to how the game Halo Studios have implemented in reflections, everything is kind of so shiny within the Covenant spaces. It kind of just looks like imagine a really shiny eggplant. That's kind of what
That's perfect.
That's kind of what I kept seeing and thinking about while I was playing through this. I'm like, well, there's another eggplant. You know what I mean? So I think it looks terrible, to be honest with you, even though it's like, again, you've got all these reflections. They're so responsive. During combat, some of those reflections can be quite good because, or the way that sort of particle effects will interact with geometry, and it can look great. But I think the core geometry itself, when you combine the way they've done lighting and reflections with the art design present, I just think it looks awful. And I think as well, it's the same thing for Covenant structures. For Forerunner structures.
Oh, yeah.
And this is actually a much older debate with regards to like how 343 have historically designed Forerunner stuff, because it used to be very different back in the Bungie days. But here it's much more kind of like polished metal. It's more detailed, more intricate. Or 343 was back in the day. Then they did Halo Infinite, and they really rebuilt that sort of art style for the Forerunner stuff, and I think it looked fantastic. And I forgot how good it looked actually, because then when I was doing the script or whatever, I went back and played some Halo Infinite. I'm like playing through this Forerunner shit. I'm like, damn, this looks fucking great. I can't believe how good this looks, right? And then you play through Forerunner stuff in Combat Evolved. Campaign Evolved, and it looks terrible. It's just polished metal, and looks so ugly. It doesn't really do anything. There's no kind of intricacy to the art. There's intricacy in the metal, but it's like there's no intricacy to the art design. It just kind of looks like, you're just sort of pasting.
Yeah.
Palette, what do you call it? Just
like
pasting big sheets of metal around and then letting the engine just handle the reflections after that. Obviously, that's very shorthanded. I'm sure that's not exactly what's going on. I'm sure it's much more difficult than that, right? But in terms of what I as a player experienced and how it looked for me, I think it looked dreadful, to be honest. So
but the inconsistencies, like for me, it's like the highs and lows where you do have the silent cartographer and you're like, holy shit, this looks awesome.
Outside?
Like that's the winning shot. Like that's the money shot. Like, yeah, outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's anytime you go into a basement or into a bunker, it's just the flat, plain, sterile, which is how it was in the original Halo. But I think that's where the creative liberties could have been taken, and a remake could have kind of added some things, because then you have, when you're dealing with the Flood, these normally kind of boring, bland, plain interiors look pretty awesome. They got Flood goo all over it. There's like different, they play around with different lighting and light sources. It's cool. So I wish more of the game had that. You pointed out in your review, the level that like you're in the rain and there's like the Crash Covenant ship and there's lightning and fire. You're like, holy shit. But you only get that half of the time.
True. Yeah, exactly. So I think, I don't know, the move to Unreal, obviously they had their reasons for it. It's a very common thing right now. CD Projekt Red have done the same thing. They've abandoned their engine. Hello Studios have done the same. Some of the benefits can include things like, there's a unified tool set that you can draw from, and there's documentation and there's assets you can draw from, and there's also a very large pool of people who know how to use this. It makes recruitment a lot easier, and it also makes your workplace a more kind of, there's more of an incentive to work there because you can train up in this very ubiquitous engine, and it makes it easier to find another job in game dev after. Not that there are many of those going these days. So there are reasons why studios like to make this move, but I think that as a demonstration as an opener, like the first Halo we're seeing on Unreal, I don't think this is a really great showcase for it. Again, I just went back and played Infinite, and I'm like, okay, this looks great, I think, and to me, I think that the visuals of this are a big step down personally. Not to say that all of it's bad. Jake pointed out some stuff just then, which I think is great, but overall, the package I do not think is like an improvement. But also rebuilding the game in Unreal has definitely had lots of other effects. The game is built on like kind of the bones of Halo Reach. The game, it's like the way it plays is built on the old sort of Reach engine, or different and parts from other Halo games as well. And then they've kind of grafted this skin onto it, which is made in Unreal.
So does it feel like Halo to play?
Yeah, it does. It actually does. Okay. Yeah, for sure. And so it really is. But they've also made a lot of decisions along the way with regards to how it plays, and they've changed things. And I don't think most of them are for the better. Like health packs is one example. Or the original had health packs where your health didn't recharge. Made combat more strategic because you couldn't just like throw yourself at the enemy and then like retreat to cover for a full recharge. Exactly. Like you needed to be smarter about it. Some of the weapons, like you can scope the assault rifle, which sounds like a small, like aim down sights on it. Sounds like a really small thing, but it actually is a really big thing given how powerful that weapon is now that it's so effective at range and whatever. Again, and I got this feedback because I think obviously this sounds like nitpicking, and like it kind of is, but it also kind of isn't, because all of these little things add up to an experience that I think feels very different to the original. And I did a back-to-back playthrough, original, the new one and then the original. And I just think the original's just more fun to play, man. Like it just is. Like all of these little choices add up to make a very big difference in terms of how fun this experience is. For me personally, it's like the job of a remake like this is to be at least as fun as the original, at least as fun. And then you can add some stuff onto it to make it more fun, ideally. But I don't think this is as fun to play as the original. I think this is worse than the original. Not massively. I'm not saying this totally sucks and whatever. I just think, because I actually think this is fun. It's because Halo's fun, right? And one of the other reasons that I didn't like not recommend it in my review is because ultimately, like, I did have a good time playing through it. I truly did. And I really thought about like, do I recommend this? Well, I don't not recommend it, but I also don't recommend you go out of your way to experience it, because I'm just like, you could just play the Master Chief Collection and I think you'll have a better time. That's it. Did you go back and play the original at all after you did your review, Jake? Or you did
only a little bit, just to like see if I was crazy with the Warthog feel, because I thought it felt a little lighter, a little floatier, but like I still had no problems controlling it.
Sure.
But yeah, there is somewhat of a difference. I was like, oh, okay.
I actually feel like it's not. I actually feel like the original was lighter. It's much more bouncy. It's much more easy to flip the original Warthog, right? And whereas the new one, it kind of feels
you're right.
Yeah, I think I just feel like it sort of just has this kind of almost magnetic feeling to the ground sometimes. The other one was like you hit like a pebble and the thing would fucking flip. You know what I mean? Which was actually, it sounds terrible, but it's actually great because it resulted in so many stupid, silly moments.
That's a good jumping off point, is that Halo was the progenitor for so many of those like memes, like early machinima. Did you still feel like this version of the game? Did you think they got rid of all of the fun bug stuff?
No, I still, especially because I played with someone like cooperatively through the whole thing. Plenty of laughs, plenty of explosions, plenty of like kill cameras with my character going flying. Yeah, ragdolling around, stuff like that. For me, what I was hoping there would be more of, and this is a little bit harder to distill into like a tangible, but like the atmosphere and the kind of mysterious nature of the original Halo. It doesn't really have that as much.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's like because the Covenant speak English now, and there's more UI elements on screen, and there's like a little bit more like telling you where to go and a little less wandering around.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I felt like and maybe I've changed as a player too, behavior wise, but it felt like back in the day there was a lot more like, for lack of a better phrase, like being with your thoughts, like being in the environment, being in the moment. The one thing I thought was really interesting with this, I've seen a lot of people talk about encounter change-ups and stuff like that, and there's a lot more enemies. I think that's what it is. There's a lot more enemies for you to kill, and in the moment it's really fun. Especially I played on heroic, and in the moment it's really, really fun. But then like thinking back and looking how encounters went with the original game, I couldn't help but think in the back of my head it's like an attention span thing. I'm like, are they doing the thing where they're just throwing enemies at you to keep you interested? Because if it is a remake of Halo, there's a lot of wide open spaces you're just kind of like wandering across. Like, I don't know.
I feel like it wouldn't be an attention span thing. I feel like they have the technology now to support more units on screen, whereas you couldn't do that before, right? And so it kind of makes sense to go, well, let's have more units on screen because it'll make this battle feel bigger and more spectacular. There's more units, there's more stuff happening. It feels like, exciting or whatever. And that's logical. And I can understand how Halo Studios might come to that conclusion. But then you can't have every single one of those enemies be as lethal as the old elites were, because those elites would fuck you up, man. Like they were dangerous. And so I think, I'm not sure if it was a conscious choice to really like neuter their AI and make them less intelligent, or if it's just they couldn't recapture the genius of that original AI. But elites are like a massive step down here. And to me, that's like a big, big, big deal because it's one of the defining aspects of Halo and how it feels. I kind of said in my review that this can feel like a looter shooter at times because it's a game now that's so much more about throughput. It's about like, can you put out enough damage to get all of the enemies down? There's more enemies on screen. They have higher health. Is there enough throughput in you to get them all down? And Halo was never really about that, especially like at the higher difficulties and especially with the elites. You were kind of dueling them. And you never really felt like you're dueling these elites here. You kind of just felt like you needed to bring them down as you would.
Now it feels like more like running and gunning almost. Like when I was playing with my buddy, it was like we were just running and like mowing down and moving forward where there used to be a lot of strafing and positioning and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, neutered, it sounds like is the word because with more enemies and, you know, not having health packs and having regenerating health, it just does kind of feel like every other game rather than being Halo.
Yeah, but look, I want to be clear that it still works on its own terms. And this is another reason why this is like, it's a nuanced conversation because there was a way they could have done all of this and it doesn't work and it just sucks, right? But the truth is it actually does hang together and it becomes its own different way to experience Halo and its vibes and its approach to difficulty and whatever else. Like it is it's a remixed experience in some ways, right? So it looks like you're playing just a normal Halo game, but it feels quite different when you're actually doing it. So there's some novelty in that for longtime fans who want to experience that. But ultimately, I think that shelf life on that is a lot shorter than the original because you can keep coming back to, you know, the original and those elites are still going to surprise you. Whereas I don't think I was ever surprised by an elite at all during my time with Campaign Evolved. No.
Except when they're invisible and they one-shot you. That happened to me a couple times.
Unless they've got a big red marker over their head, Jake, that shows you where exactly they are on screen.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like, and this is, we've sort of talked about more substantive differences, but I also think there's just some very awkward own goals within this package that you kind of just scratch your head and I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, again, red markers over invisible enemies' heads is like clearly in playtesting. Someone would have been like, hey, guys, we should change this, right? Like, surely you would change that. I mean, I think about these cutscenes and like.
This is interesting. Yeah.
Some of them I liked. AI, right? The streets are saying they're AI because the quality is so bad. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm sure that people worked on this. We have no reason to think that it's AI, but the quality of them is really terrible, to be honest with you. And it's
some bits I liked, to be fair. Like,
sure, absolutely. Yeah,
like there were some things that I felt like were additive, just to be like to cover it all. Like Guilty Spark's like turn. They kind of almost did like a rack focus pull and a little bit of a vignette when he's like turning. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's cool that they did that. Like little creative flourishes, like keys. When you find keys, he's like grosser. Yes. And you feel a little something more from it. Even at the very end, like right before Chief escapes, he gets into like another fist fight with an elite or something like that. Like little cool things like that. But for me, it wasn't necessarily the cutscenes. It was the performances. That, you know, the redone performances, I honestly felt like there was like a little bit something lost in them redoing it because it felt like they were directed differently.
Yes. It was re-recorded.
Yeah.
Same voice cast?
Yeah.
No, Sergeant Johnson's different. Keys is different. Chief and Cortana are the same. Mm-hmm. And also they like Fohammer and like, you know, the Aussie's still in there, like the Marine, a lot of their voices are still in there as well. Like they're the original voice tracks, you can totally tell. So yeah, I would say though that the new voice actors do a good job. I would say, like, you don't think Sergeant Johnson, like the new voice actors?
No, I think they were good. No, it's like Cortana felt a little off in spots.
Totally. She's very different this time around. She's much more like airy with her performance and it doesn't really fit.
I thought she carried the original Halo like by a mile.
It was spot on. It was really spot on. And like, yeah, I think, I don't know. I think it's not just nostalgia talking. Like there's also reasons why Cortana sounds like she does in this first one. And then she starts to sound different later on. but they kind of skipped all of that like later on. You know what I mean? They've just gone straight to this Cortana that sounds much more human and yeah, it's not. I don't think it makes sense. I really hated the way that like Sergeant Johnson was introduced. I don't know if people who've seen my review know what I'm talking about, but like he kind of turns around and mogs the camera and like smiles. Like it's so dumb. It's terrible. It's really awful. And yeah, there are other moments where you just kind of look at these cutscenes and be like, what's going on here? Is this all you can? It's some of it's just so perplexing. It's like, why would you
awkward animations,
all of that so stilted, so just bad. You know, they're really awful, and I think they're a big letdown for a package that's not doing any multiplayer. I would really expect them to like quadruple down on storytelling, and the cutscenes do a lot of heavy lifting for that storytelling. And you only need look at like, you know, Blur's cutscenes 12 years ago for Halo 2 Anniversary to see what like a good remastered cutscene can do, because those things like live forever in our hearts, those cutscenes, because they're just so fucking sick, you know? And that's kind of, I don't think it's unfair to expect that again for, you know, a remake like this that's just, you know, $50 for just the campaign experience. Like I feel like that should be the standard. And this is like so unbelievably far from that standard that it's kind of crazy. So yeah, not great in that regard either, sadly. Tell me, Jake, what did you think of these bonus missions? So as people are might be unaware, there's no additional campaign. There are no additional campaign missions, but there are 3 prequel missions that are set before the events of Halo. Yeah, it stars you playing Chief, and you're also fighting alongside Johnson. Jake, what do you think of these?
I thought they were okay. I like how they start fresh. It feels fresh. It kind of almost starts with like a Star Wars opening.
Yeah, it does actually. You're right.
They show up. They like the guys reveal themselves. Chief has a little bit of like a different armor. He says "boo" to one of the Covenant, which is like a direct reference to Halo 2. You're like, oh, this is pretty cool. As they go on, I like the missions themselves are just a little bit unremarkable. They introduce a really annoying character. I thought they could have been worse, especially just because like I was just expecting like Halo 5, which I really didn't like Halo 5. I don't know. I thought they were fine. They didn't really do anything for me. I know you like really despise them.
Fan fiction. I think that phrase gets thrown around a lot. I think it's really like, it's not a helpful phrase, I would say, because like it means different things to different people, I would say.
Yeah, I can't believe it when they all started fucking.
Well, I just like that it was.
I would pay for that. Just remake,
Covenant
man.
and
Give me that remake.
You go to AO3 and it's there, man.
God.
I would say it's not fan fiction. I would just say it's just not well. Okay.
Again, not good enough, which has been the theme for the whole thing.
I don't agree. I just think these are bad missions. Like this is ultimately, it's 3 missions that ultimately feel like one mission because it's so drawn out, you know? Yes. Structurally, in terms of how the overall feel of these missions and the spaces you're operating in, it just feels like one big long mission. And I understand why it is that, because it's one operation, and I get that. But, you know, I think that, you know, one of the good things about the original campaign is the fact that each mission had a very distinct identity. And yeah, it was sort of mirrored in the back end of the game. It was kind of like you were going through the game again, but backwards. But there were flourishes to the way that worked. And even the fact that you were playing it in that order just resulted in a lot of diversity in terms of how this thing felt. Whereas these bonus missions don't have that. I think from an encounter design perspective, I don't think a lot of them really work. And I think from a storytelling perspective, it's very, very bad. Like Master Chief is like quippy. And
he's too quippy. He's too chatty immediately. Yeah.
It's like it's a prequel mission.
And then you got that beat out of him.
They got that what?
He got that beat out of him.
So he got that 1 year. Exactly right.
In the course of 1 year, yeah.
When you put him on ice, I guess he loses his sense of humor, and that has to thaw out over the course of the Halo campaign. But it just doesn't make sense, right? Like it's like this clearly is a prequel to a game that people are just about to play. If I was a fresh player and I'm stepping in for the first time, I'm probably going to play those prequel missions first because I'm like, oh, they're prequels. I'm going to play them first. Cool, let's do it. You play them and you get this very different relationship between Sarge and Chief that doesn't exist in the main game. You get this very different characterization of Chief that isn't carried over into the main game. So you'd get there and you'd be like, how come my Master Chief isn't making jokes now? I don't get this. You know, why is he so silent all of a sudden? I don't understand how you could greenlight that and go, okay, yeah, cool. This is the way to write this up, right? So Yeah, there's also some really awkward cutscene moments stuff. I said in my review that it feels like a cartoon. You know, they kind of write Halo like it's a cartoon. And again, if you go back and like watch cutscenes for Halo 2 and 3 or whatever, it feels like a sci-fi movie, you know, like Chronicles of Riddick-esque kind of
itself really seriously.
Self-serious. It's obviously silly aliens talking and yada yada, but there's like a self-seriousness to it that just makes it cool. And you're along for the ride. And you don't feel along for the ride here. It just feels not great. So yeah,
they just felt to me also like, as much as I was like kind of like fine with them, they did feel kind of I don't know what the word is. Like, I don't want to use half-assed, but like just very rushed. I don't know. Like, so, and that's kind of like the overall package to me kind of feels like, just feels a little rushed, where like I thought this could have been so much more. And I think people have said rushed. I don't really see it as rushed. I kind of feel it like as scoped, right? To me personally, I just feel like this package feels extremely tightly scoped. They're like, cool, we're making a remake. Should we do multiplayer? No, cut it. Cool, done, fine. This is an Unreal Engine, the first foray into Unreal. Okay, so should we make new missions in the campaign? No, cut that. Just remake the existing missions, but then, you know, layer Unreal over it. Okay, cool, done. We need to do some some new content. What can we do? All right, well, let's repackage a lot of the visual assets that we've used in the main campaign and use those to build some campaign missions, which is why it's just the Covenant areas and a little bit of the outdoor space and whatever else. There is the ship battle at the end, admittedly, for sure. But even then, these missions, as I said, they kind of all blend together and it feels like one big, long mission's cut up into 3 parts. And again, I feel like that's a scope thing. They're like, what can we kind of reuse from that we've built from the main campaign and redeploy it here? So I look at it as a scope thing. Like, I just think this doesn't feel truly ambitious as the desire to create like the best possible campaign experience that we've ever had. It just feels like we want to just put out a product that's leveraging the work that we're already doing in rebuilding Halo in the Unreal Engine and building all the assets around that. What's a really smartly scoped package we can put together? And this feels like that. And you're right. What you said in your video as well, it's just like, that's not good enough. You know, like Halo needs more than that. Halo deserves more than that. Halo fans deserve more than that. So it's not great, unfortunately. But how cool is Halo though? How cool is campaign, like the actual campaign itself from
dude, it's wild.
It's special.
It just holds up. You realize the decisions they made, each individual level, why they are the way they are, how well paced that game is overall. It's crazy. Like, it's unbelievable that they did this back in the day and how revolutionary this was and
how out of nowhere and unique it felt.
Yeah.
You know, how Chief looked, the ring of Halo, the enemies you were fighting, how weird they are, how some of them were goofy and cartoony and some of them were badass and scary and like, you don't know what their deal is. Like, it just like built this whole sci-fi thing out of nowhere. Like, it almost felt kind of like effortless. That's the way I can explain it.
Felt like what?
Effortless. Like, just how they did it. Like, it's just like, holy shit.
That team like famously basically killed themselves.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. It definitely wasn't effortless, but
but like it just feels, it all just like really, really works.
Yeah, no. I mean, it feels like some sort of divine inspiration where they just sometimes you just make something and just like, holy shit. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And it was an incredible thing that they did. And it stands up all these years later. It really does. It's one of the first modern video games, you know, I think, just in terms of bringing
before Halo, then there's after Halo.
I think so, yeah. I mean, certainly on console shooters for sure, you know, because of the way it approached console, like playing a shooter on a console with a control scheme and whatever else, and all the decisions it made about reticle and blue, all these things, right? It just kind of solved all those problems and said, okay, well, this is how you make a shooter on a console going forward. And that's it. And it really hasn't changed substantially since then, to be honest with you. And I just think, you know, from a storytelling perspective, the universe it built, the music, man, the music, Jesus Christ, like all of these things, it was incredible. So I think it, you know, I look, we've talked about these legacy franchises and how much appeal they hold and whatever. And I think that I was reflecting very much on like Zelda and Breath of the Wild, right? When the Wii U came out, Nintendo was like, everyone was like, Nintendo's finished, it's dead, it's never coming back, baby. It's the level of sales of that device was ridiculous, like 13 million units or something, just catastrophic, unbelievable. Nintendo's over. And then they're like, the Switch is announced, and no one really cares that much. Everyone's like, well, I don't know about this. A bit of a weird idea. I still don't think Nintendo could come back. And then Breath of the Wild comes along, man, and it's just like, and that's based upon an old franchise, but that game was just so unbelievable that you had no choice but to buy a Switch. Like that was it. You just had no choice but to buy a Switch because you just had to play
you could play it on Wii U. A friend of mine did play it on Wii U.
God bless those people.
Yeah.
So I guess the point I'm making is that these old franchises, they're legacy franchises until they like stop being that and they either die or they find a new lease on life. And I do think that Halo can find that new lease on life if they're able to if Halo Studios can present a vision of it that really feels fresh and unmissable. And I think that as an audition for that vision, this is not a great starting point. Obviously this is a remake for sure. I understand that. But even with your bonus missions, like I don't think they were good showcases for what the future of Halo might look like. I guess like a question for you, Jake, would you like to see them remake 2 and 3?
Oh man,
you started saying no there.
Yeah, no, not really.
Right.
Again, as much as like I had fun with this, no, I don't think so. I think they need to be treated with like white gloves. Like they need to be like these amazing, uncompromised remakes, whatever that direction is, whether it's fine tune and make the original incredible, or the Resident Evil 4 approach where it's like tweak it, add to it. Either way, whichever angle they go, it needs to be like completely locked tight and not something that can be, loved by casual fans, but nitpicked by hardcore fans. Like it has to be perfect. And I don't know. I don't know. That's a shame. I think at the very least, and I said this in my video, if you're seeing this one, because this is divisive, I've seen a lot of like short form content creators like this is the best Halo ever, and I've also seen a lot of people on Reddit like being like this is the worst thing ever. It is a disaster. And I think like your takeaway, if you just never played Halo, is like just play the original Halo, however you play it. If you're okay to fork over $50 for a flawed version, sure, because maybe you only have PS5, sure, but if just play some Halo something, the original, because that campaign is worth experiencing.
I agree. But I also think about the value of the Master Chief Collection. And by the way, PS5 players out there, please just Game Pass, xCloud, you're going to be surprised at how well this service works. If you really want to play Halo, okay, just please get a month of Game Pass. You can stream it on your TV or whatever else. I promise you, you're going to love it. The Master Chief Collection is insane. 6 games and the multiplayer, and like it's crazy how much value there is in that package. And I just think it's also just a better way to experience this original. Please, I just really strongly recommend that if you are wanting to play Halo on a PS5, just as I said, if your TV can support like the Xbox app or whatever, get a month of Game Pass. If you've got decent internet, you're going to be very impressed with it. Anyway, but
play it on an iPad.
Play it on an iPad, exactly. Whatever.
Christopher Nolan intended.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I said, in my own sort of coverage, I don't want them to do any more remakes. Like, I just don't. Like, they're fine as they are. Like, they're okay. Again, you might say, because I don't, again, Resident Evil 4 was always fine. But then they just said, okay, well, let's reimagine it in its own way. Let's do some different things with it. And as a result, Resident Evil 4 Remake really stands on its own as a separate thing. You can go back and enjoy the original, and it's fantastic. You can also play the new one, and it's also fantastic in its own way. I think it's clear, though, that Halo Studios doesn't really see the way their idea of a remake is different.
Yeah.
It's kind of halfway between the two, and it doesn't work because it's not adding enough, and it's also changing too many things that we don't want changed. And I just don't want them to do that to Halo 2. I just want them to move on to their own thing. Make a new Halo game. That's what we need. Don't go back and revisit these other games. Like, they're fine as they are. They truly are.
Move on.
Just don't need it.
Well, luckily they teased that they're doing a sequel. So
yeah. I mean, well, look, that could be like, yes, that's it. But at the same time, it could also just be like, hey, you can go play Halo 2 now in the Master Chief.
Here's a link.
You know what I mean? And
see it in the sequel, right? Johnson. He didn't specify.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's it's a bit of a bummer.
I'm still holding out for Halo because it used to move mountains. It used to be incredible. And I feel like for a long time, it's kind of been bungled. Yep. So I'm really hoping there's something.
Well, you know what rules though?
Is this a segue to our sponsor? Is this like a Linus Tech Tips segue?
Oh, it was gonna be a segue to Silent Hill, but we could do a sponsor read unless you guys have anything else about Halo.
I think we should go full Linus and say, you know what else is awesome?
You know what else is awesome?
Our sponsor.
Our sponsor, Raycon.
This message is sponsored by Raycon. Okay, this is a true story. So they keep sending me these, by the way. Right? One thing you don't know about is that like it's a long story, but they keep sending you them every time you do one of these reads because they like different people don't realize that you've already got this product. So I think I might have been sent a total of like 10 of these. Okay, so I give them away to people. And recently I gave one to my brother, and he like came back to me a week later. He's like, bro, these have been absolutely fantastic. These are the open earbuds. The Raycon everyday essential open earbuds. I always get the name wrong, but he's been like exercising a lot more lately. And the thing about these is that they don't go into your ear, right? They go on top of it. Because he was saying to me that basically like when he's exercising, he gets sweaty and that the earbuds like fall out when he's running or whatever. And I'm like, well, yeah, these are made for exactly that, right? Where they don't go in your ear, they go over the top of your ear. And they clip around the back so they stay on even when you're running, and they sound really nice, and they're just like the perfect complement to like any kind of exercise routine. I use them for exactly that and have for a long time now. They're great. And so, yeah, I wasn't at all surprised when he was so glowing in his endorsement of them. And he's not sponsored by them. So he didn't have to say shit. He could just be like, you know what, those things, they sucked. But he didn't. He said the opposite. He said he really loved them. So, yeah. But there are other reasons why you might like them. Right, Lucy and Jake?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the open ear design is the killer thing, but also multi-point connectivity, 36 hours of battery life, and a cool handy-dandy little charging carrying case. And they make a great gift, but also it's back to school season. And these things are awesome to have for school because I didn't have these for school. I wish I did. We didn't even have wireless headphones or earbuds or anything when we went to
those
school.
ones with the over-ear pads and shit plugged into a Walkman.
Do you know what I did at school? I would feed the wire all the way up my sleeve and I would sit like this. Don't listen to music in school, kids, but on the way to and from, make sure you got your Raycons.
Exactly.
That's right, exactly. And also for kids, these are good because they actually can hear what's going on around them. So if kids are like crossing the street or whatever, that's a bonus because otherwise kids are locked in with like, noise cancelling earbuds or whatever. Not as safe. So, but yeah, battery life is great. The carry case is very small and convenient. They stay on your ears no matter what. You don't have to worry about sweat when you're exercising because, as I said, they're not stuck in your ears like normal earbuds are. They're just a really great, versatile product that is a really, as I said, good complement to an active lifestyle. If you want to get a pair, you can do so at a discount thanks to Raycon sponsoring us and this channel and this video. So, Lucy, what are the details?
Yeah, if you go, you can get the Essential Open Earbuds as the perfect back-to-school companion. Get 20% off. You go to buyraycon.com/friendsopen to get 20% off. That's buyraycon.com/friendsopen for 20% off. And thank you again to Raycon for sponsoring. And we're back. Okay, so hot off the heels of Halo talk, I recently went to LA to play like 3 and a bit hours, I think, maybe more, of Silent Hill Townfall from the beginning, which I've said on record before, I'm not like a seasoned Silent Hill player. Silent Hill F was my first one. I absolutely adored it. I understand that Silent Hill is more a state of mind.
Sorry, F was your first one?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Did we? You must have told us that when we talked about it in the past. Maybe I just forgotten it. I've just like memory hold that.
It's surprising enough that you forgot that you like pushed it out of your mind.
Just so you know, the series isn't known for having like werewolf powers.
Yeah, I know. And it's also not known for being in Scotland, which is where Silent Hill Townfall is. The studio used to be called No Code, and now they're called Screenburn. They are the team behind Observation and Stories Untold. very much in that psychological horror realm. So it's no wonder that Konami said to them, yes, you can absolutely make a Silent Hill game and do your own spin on it. I loved my time with it.
Okay.
No way.
I am a serial killer when it comes to video games. I don't really react or jump or do anything like that.
Okay.
When it starts off quite slowly in terms of tension, and it somehow ramps up to the stage where at one point a PR person walked behind me and I genuinely went, ah, no, don't do that.
That's great.
Excellent.
So is it survival horror? Like, or is
Yes.
it like, what is this game?
Survival horror, very much so, but instead of your more sort of esoteric inputs for puzzles and stuff, everything is very true to the world. So very similar to kind of what they were doing with like Stories Untold. So you play as a guy called Simon who's mysteriously called back to this place called Saint Amelia, which is this island off the coast of Scotland. And it's basically, no one is there. Everything is missing. But you find a CRT, little handheld TV, and you tune in to different channels. And this is the key piece that guides you through the island. So it shows you these little videos of, places to go, and you have to find your way in this. So there's a lot of backtracking when you kind of get sent all around this island. And obviously this is just the opening area. But then there are sort of puzzles. And the thing that I loved about it, and this was in the SGF presentation as well, is that one of the puzzles was you're in a house and you don't have any electricity. You have to creep to the newsagents and get a card for the electricity and then put that in. Later on, you are provided with, you're talking about this nurse who's maybe not so good at her job, and she leaves this praised letter and she says, oh, they tell me I'm bad at listening. They tell me XYZ. They tell me this. So then you are having to find items that relate to that, but like real world items, not just sort of like a bewitched magical thing. And the reason I love this game so much is that I felt like I had been there. So I grew up in the northeast of England. This game is set off the coast of Scotland, but I spent a lot of time in a seaside town called Sea Houses, if anyone's ever been. A lot of UK seaside towns have a very similar vibe and feel. And this felt like a real place in a way that was scary to me. There was so much environmental storytelling. I know that people kind of hate that, but there was homemade posters of people who had gone missing that used word art from like Windows 98. There was so much handwritten stuff. There were these recurring characters in the background that felt like, oh, Barbara with the cats again. There was stuff like that. And I think the reason that the tension was so effective for me was because I just slowed down immediately to soak up all of the atmosphere because it felt lived in. And I really was questioning, why the hell is it so empty? There were other things about it too. So, I mean, I think if you grew up in the UK, you'll obviously have a lot more of it to sort of enjoy. So you save by using a phone, right? And you punch in a certain number to save. But if you punch in the wrong number, it says, the number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please hang up and try again, which is like burned into my mind from being a kid when you would try and call people and you would get the wrong number or something. And then there were just all of these little touches that I think go such a long way into tricking you into thinking that you're in a safe place or environment. So like you're walking around, it's cold, it's foggy, he's breathing out, you see the breath, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have like this reactive soundtrack that was very, very effective. And so by the time things do get really weird and you start seeing these creatures who you then track using the CRT, the little handheld TV thing, it just kind of felt like, oh God, I felt so genuinely scared of them because in that survival horror way, you do have a limited inventory space. The planks or whatever you find to attack them do disintegrate, they do break. But I think what's really smart about it is that it lets you get comfortable. It lets you get a little bit complacent because when you're watching the enemies, you're like, oh, these guys have such a set patrol path. This will be fine. This will be easy. But you were so focused on them, you didn't think to even scan over here. And I got the shit scared out of me by like one or two that way because I was getting complacent. And I would say that combat is not your friend in this. Like you obviously have like one or two instances where the game obviously pushes you into it a little bit, so you can understand that this is not going to be a game that you are going to be fighting your way through. You have to be avoiding things, you have to be hiding, you have to be moving slowly and distracting. And by the end of my time with it, I was genuinely just creeping through on edge. There are some enemies that, like, even if you get a gun later on as well,
for you, Jake,
just for you, even if you shoot them blank in the head, it doesn't do enough. And all it does is it alerts everyone else around you. So it really is that.
So how does melee combat go? Like, what are the tools at your disposal? Can you dodge? Like, how does it feel?
I had a plank and I can block.
Nice.
Okay. That's
it. Block, take a big swing, and hope for the best.
Nice. Real condemned criminal origins of it.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
That's actually, I like that a lot. I think because one of my biggest criticisms of Silent Hill 2 remake was that, like, James was a powerhouse. He could just, like, fuck shit up pretty relentlessly. You know what I mean? And it kind of doesn't really feel right for a Silent Hill game, I don't think. Like, in some ways it does. I get it. You know, there's kind of this franticness to him. But at the same time, he also felt just so powerful and so effective in combat that you're like, come on, man. You should at least run out of breath. You know what I mean? Like, you've really been swinging for quite a bit here. Just take a breather. I think the idea of a Silent Hill focused more on stealth and, like, depowering you is inherently more interesting to me personally. So I like that. I have a question about, because I actually saw a behind closed doors presentation. I haven't played it, but I saw it. And I was a bit worried that the environments that I saw, they looked pretty clean. Like, they just kind of look like normal, clean town with a bit of fog over the top of it. And I think that Silent Hill games in the past have done a really good job of showing, like, some ruin within the town and
the grime.
Don't worry.
Yeah, grime, but also just kind of like the detritus of people who have left and just all that sort of stuff. And I wonder, did you see that? Because I only saw a brief snippet at the start. Does it sort of show that environmental storytelling later on?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
There's also, I don't want to say it.
Okay. But
there's just there's stuff. There is stuff.
Because that was my
because I played it a bit at the beginning, then it jumps you forward a little bit, so I didn't really see a certain incident happen. Let's just say, but it's don't worry, stuff happened. And there's certain areas that I was in that was just really grimy, like
icky,
gross.
like good Silent Hill icky.
Ick. Cool. Gave me the ick.
All right, stealth. Do you have any tools there? Are you throwing things to distract?
You can throw things. There's your classic bottles. You can your classic bricks. One thing that I really loved, and again, it is using the real world logic to make sense when you're playing a video game, is that you can run into a room and lock the door behind you.
Oh.
If you don't lock it behind you, they'll come in. But if you lock it, they'll just like bang on the door and try and get in. And so one time I ran into a room and I really thought that I was like, oh, thank God I'm safe. And then he just burst in. I was like, ah! There's a lot of, I mean, a bunch of the team also worked on things like Alien Isolation. So there are rooms, like closets you can hide in. And you can, in terms of another thing at your disposal is the peek. So obviously you can just sort of peek around. And even when you're in a closet, in the confined space, I was locking myself in sheds. Spent a lot of time in sheds, and I was just sort of peeking around trying to see if people were there. And then you use the little TV, you scan in and try and get like lock onto their signal, and then you kind of see this heat print kind of thing, and you can kind of track them that way. So
the old Silent Hill games, like the radio you had, kind of was integrated into detecting enemies, but also just kind of felt like it affected the soundtrack and stuff like that. Is there like noise coming from the TV? Is there like TV music?
You turn it on? No, when you turn it on, so there's it plays back videos and stuff, and so the one that we saw in the behind closed doors is like this woman who's going, come back to me, like come back, and there are different various things, and that also acts as your pushing you forward, giving you clues in the environment as to where to go. So it'll show you like a certain doorway that's distinctive and you go that way, but you also have a map of the town. And he writes on, I need to go here. So it's not, I'm following a dotted line, I'm following a compass. It's using these two real world things, which again, just further ingrains you into becoming.
And that's pretty Silent Hill. That's good. Oh, the one thing I've been dying to know since it was revealed, and I remember you were going to play it, the enemies. What's the deal? Because like they teased them when they announced it, and I, like so much about Silent Hill is the enemies. What's their deal?
They're gross. Well,
they are gross.
One of the guys has like an
axe head kind of thing.
Axe for a head. There was this other one. It was all sort of all white and just sort of fleshy, kind of all like bright white. And then he was they sort of like not rock, but they're standing or sitting and just sort of like terrifying me as I'm walking around. But in terms of there are certain areas like when you're going through the back streets of certain houses, and then there's some that you're just like, oh god, I'm gonna have to figure everything out here. I'm just gonna have to run towards this. Oh my god. By the end, they would legitimately even the small guys who you can take out with one or two swings. I was just avoiding everything because the way that you're not picking up bullets all the time. You're not picking up extra planks, extra weapons all of the time. You really have to ration out what you have, and it's very effective. It's very good in-game like balance of that stuff. And then there's other weird stuff as well. So at one point you get like a scalpel, and certain doors which were locked to you kind of open them, and it's this thing of flesh, and you have to cut in.
Very nice.
Into the flesh to open it. So there's all these other little bits of weirdness, and I don't know how it's all going to come together yet, of course, but it was great. I was very unsettled, very unnerved. Yeah.
Do we know how long they're targeting for length?
I think he did. I think he said off the record, so I'm not going to repeat it, but there are like 5 endings.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And I don't know how. I don't think you actually have to repeat playing the game multiple times to get them all. I think there's a little bit of leniency there, but check me on that. This was about a month ago that I went to play.
Sure.
It sounds more Silent Hill-y than I expected. I don't know why I was expecting like way more of this like Annapurna spin-off type thing.
No. Greenburn, man. Yeah, I'm going to try and get John on the podcast because he's worked on a lot of very cool games. And this is a very small team too. Very small. Just outside of Glasgow.
How small?
What I want to say it's like 20-something people.
Can I say Konami, letting studios make Silent Hill games, good move. Very good move. It makes a lot of sense for a franchise like this.
30 to 50 employees, sorry.
Second, sorry?
30 to 50.
Yeah.
Employees. So
like Resident Evil is a real sort of playbook experience. It's very sort of character driven, and it's like got the established lore, and it's got a very specific feel to it and whatever. And the idea of other studios making Resident Evil games isn't really that enticing, I don't think. But with Silent Hill, it's sort of very psychological and weird and fucked up, and it can be very different if it wants to be. And I think we're all on board for that ride. You know what I mean? Like
totally.
And so the decision to let other developers have a crack at it is just, I think, a really great decision. And hats off to Konami for like making it happen, because a lot of the time they're just not willing to take those sorts of risks. They're like, no, we have to hoard all this shit and whatever. I really am on board with this a lot. I think it's great. So
that's Silent Hill.
So that's coming out soonish, right? When's that out?
I think it's September 24th.
September 24th, same day as
Control Resident.
Yep. Boy.
And,
boy, oh boy.
If only they had the same publisher. Who could have maybe
worked that out.
Come on, guys.
I think there's a lot of crossover between those two as well in terms of the target audience, right? Like, Control weirdos are also going to be Silent Hill weirdos, I feel,
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm one of them. Don't worry.
It's a sign of respect. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Anyway, look, I think Control, they just said that's roughly 30 hours. And your average Silent Hill game is usually around like 10 to 15 kind of thing. The remake was longer. Silent Hill 2 remake was longer. But yeah, look, it's not going to be a super long game though. Hopefully we'll have time for both of them. Before the big one arrives after that, Minecraft Dungeons 2, baby. 29th of September.
I was like, what's he gonna do? What's the goof?
No, but there is actually Ace Combat 8 on the 8th of October.
Oh, there you go.
What's the subtitle for that one? Like something Thieves?
Wings of Thieve.
Honor Amongst Thieves.
And then Star Wars Racer on the 6th.
Hell yeah.
Gears of War E-Day on the 6th. Man, October is pretty nuts at the start,
We're gonna be busy.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great.
Speaking of busy, I I want to know. I was very surprised to see a skill up video that raved about the new Splatoon game I didn't care about.
Oh yeah.
So what? So
because I don't even like Splatoon.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the first one, and then I just kind of fell off it. So what is the elevator pitch for someone like me for this
Just
game?
imagine a really simple, streamlined, effective looter shooter, right? With really great core gameplay that kind of feels almost like Doom, right? In terms of small arenas and really smartly designed enemies that are, And then imagine some like sort of, how would I say it? The level design kind of is very diverse to the point where it can often feel like a 3D platformer that you're playing, mixed in there. So, I sort of described it as a mix of like Doom gameplay, Borderlands gear game, and Destiny's sort of diversity of sort of like encounter design, level design, and the way it's remixing that core looter shooter loop into different things. That was the sort of cocktail how I put it. But I've definitely seen other people echo the same sentiment around the Doom-inspired gameplay because, it really is it's very high pressure what it puts on you while you're playing because, again, just to start from the very beginning what this is. Splatoon is a PvE co-op game. You can play it solo, which is how I played it, but you can play it with 3 other people. It is a mission-based game where you kind of load into a mission on from a map. You arrive, you have like 2 minutes. Some of the missions can be 2 minutes long. Some of them can be like 8 minutes long or so. They're never very long. They're always short. And usually they just involve fighting different waves of enemies and in very small arenas. And the enemy design, though, is very distinct in the sense that like there'll be one specific enemy who appears at the end of the map and they can like shoot you from across that map, which means you need to haul ass over there to, get them down while also avoiding all of the other enemies around you. Certain enemies can only be hit from the back. Certain enemies will fly and they'll like drop shit on the ground that you need to avoid. Like all of that stuff is happening all at once. And it does create like a combat puzzle where you're constantly reprioritizing enemies as they appear and using your movesets or like your abilities and weapons or whatever to get them down effectively. And it's not easy, by the way, because I played it on normal mode. And again, I wouldn't say it's hard, but I would say that like I had to lock in the whole time. Like you can't just be complacent and expect to get through this because it's a game that really asks you to play it properly. Again, coming back to a Halo conversation a moment ago, you can have a looter shooter, which is just about throughput and it's just about can you do enough damage to these targets. But what's really great about Splatoon Raiders is that like throughput's not enough. You also need to understand the weaknesses of these targets and position yourself and your abilities in the right place where you can actually like strike effectively. And that makes it a really great game to play because you're just constantly doing that puzzle solving in your head on the fly. It doesn't hurt that the loot game is also really strong in terms of there's really like a lot of diversity to the loot, but you're also not overwhelmed by it. You can create very distinctive builds because there's some very strong levers to pull that result in you having your own distinct build.
What's a loadout you have that you love?
Well, I always like turret loadouts whenever I'm playing games. I'm big into it, right? So I had like one, I won't go into all the detail, but just, there's basically like 10 different ways that I can spec this one turret because it has like all of these things that I can plug into it that make it operate differently. And then I also have 2 other abilities I can equip that are also as customizable. And I also have some passive perks that I can equip. And my weapon has different perks. And so it all adds up to be quite sophisticated in its own sort of simple way very quickly, And I think this is also...
that's too much for kids?
No, this is what's really great about it. I just think it's for the target audience. So like, I would say for me personally, I don't find it the kind of game that I'd want to put dozens and dozens of hours into because I would like a more granular, deeper loot game than I think this offers. But for the target audience of like, casual fans, Splatoon fans who don't play many of these sorts of games, kids or whatever, this is like exactly where I would dial this in. Like truly, just if I was a game maker and I wanted to, if this was my brief, you couldn't, you crushed it. Like you couldn't, this is a 10 out of 10 in terms of how you've nailed that brief. You know what I mean? It's exactly the right systems, tuned it exactly the right way. And that's why I was so impressed by it because I kind of felt like as I was playing through it, you could tell that this had learned the lessons of all the other failed looter shooters of the past. Whereas so many of these other games that come along just make all the same mistakes over and over again. And yeah, it really, it's so smartly designed. And it's been so funny. I've seen it pick up pace since. I've seen so much more chatter about it online now. Like people are talking about this game. People are like, what the fuck? I didn't know about this. And then they're booting it up and they're like, what the hell? This is sick, you know? I did not expect Splatoon Raiders would get caught up in the kind of zeitgeist. I wouldn't expect it to get sort of, you know, momentum, but it's getting momentum. Like more and more people are playing this and talking about it because they're realizing just how good this is.
Splatoon.
It's on my radar now.
Yeah,
Raiders.
I think
I didn't really know what it was.
Yeah,
to be completely honest. Yeah,
I think I don't know that they did a really great job of marketing it, but I think it's such a hard wall to break through because you see Splatoon and you're like, I know Splatoon is not for me because Splatoon is weird little octopus creatures shooting each other in a PvP game. That's not for me. Squids, exactly.
Squid
Thank you. Squid kids, they're so creepy looking, by the way. I hate how they look. I hate how they walk. I hate it. It's so gross. Just something about it is gross. Anyway, so you look at that and you go, okay, I know what that is. That's not for me. But it's not what you think it is. It actually is a very different game. And that the game that they've actually made here just so happens to be like an excellent, extremely well-built game. And it's great, man. I just really do recommend it. I had a really wonderful time with it. It's 15 hours to the credits, and then there's like an end game, a post game thing you can do for like more grinding and whatever. I didn't really feel the need to push.
Squid Kids will return.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that they probably will return.
Splatoon Doomsday. Doomsday.
Splatoon 3, and they do a 3.
I think that they probably will make a sequel to this because it feels like it's selling. People like it. It's a really good direction for the franchise. You can also see how it would go further with even, you know, more build variety, more class types, more whatever. Like there's so many things you can plug into a game like this that would make it a worthwhile sequel. And I would be day one on that sequel. I'll even be day one on Splatoon 4 after this now because, you know, I'm interested to check it out. I quite like the core gameplay now, which is, you know, basically spraying ink everywhere for zone control and, you know, using the gyro to aim the controller. And like, I didn't really like that at first, but having spent time with it now, I'm like, actually, I see the appeal of this. This has a real natural flow to it, but also a lot of mastery. And I think that's what Splatoon players will tell you. There's like, this is a very deep game where you can really tell if someone knows how to play it. And I can totally see that after spending some time with it because, yeah, mechanically it can be a very rich game if you really start to like, you know, understand how different weapons and abilities work and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, man, it's good.
I
nice
forgot
surprise.
they made a Splatoon 3. I totally memory hold that.
Oh, that already came out? I'm not really paying attention to Splatoon because I'm more of a Foam Stars fan.
I'm more of an ARMS guy.
Tough
personally,
time for you, man. Didn't they shut that game down? Isn't that over? Did they shut the server
very
down?
quickly? Yeah.
I played some of that. I played some of Foam Stars actually. I didn't mind it. I thought it was. I didn't mind it. Okay. It was fine.
It was fine.
They were like, it comes from their bodies. I was like, well, thanks.
Yeah. Well, this ink comes from their bodies too. Like this whole genre seems to be all about
squiddies.
I haven't played Splatoon since the first one.
Sure. Yeah.
It's also my white whale in terms of video that I was never able to make.
Why?
Is that so back in the day when Splatoon was coming out, I was at GameSpot and we were talking to Nintendo and they were like, pitch us any of your ideas.
Right.
And, you know, we've got, I think it was like the game director or the producer or someone coming to the office. And we pitched that we would play Splatoon against each other.
Okay.
And whoever would lose would get gunged.
Okay.
And somehow Nintendo approved that.
I was going to say Nintendo really won't approve in general.
They had to figure out how to get the Japanese translation for gunge. What do they call it in America? They don't call it gunge. They call it like slimed or whatever.
Yeah, slime.
Oh, slime.
You know, like the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. Yeah. And then it was the facilities person at GameSpot who was like, absolutely fucking not. No way. And I was like, this could have been an all-timer video.
This person sucks. I don't know who they are, but they suck. So
I hope she's doing well. She was actually quite nice. I imagine it would be a shiter to clean up.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
It would have been. The bands would have been off the chart. And also we were 100% going to rig it so that it was like me getting slimed.
Yes.
This person took away me getting slimed.
Yeah. That would have been a good clip. We could have had that.
Did you ever see the video of Katy Perry getting slimed so hard she falls down?
Yes, she goes over like Bam getting hit with the hand. She's like,
he fell for the soup.
I I would say that Nintendo, this is the second time this year that they've remixed one of their franchises to a tremendous effect, because Pokemon Pocopia came out early this year. And
DLC is out next week.
Second, sorry?
DLC next week or something.
Yes,
So Pocopia.
yes. That is a straight banger. That is one of my games of the year. That is top 5 for me. And I don't like Pokemon and I don't like Animal Crossing. Okay, right? But that is how good Pokemon Pocopia is. It is unbelievably good. And I think, again, we sort of talk about these studios that are like willing to lend out some of their IP and let developers have a crack at it. It's working. It's totally working. And, taking some risks on stuff. It's great. I love to see it. It's fantastic. So well done, Nintendo. They're like on a bit of a roll this year, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one that I've been dipping my toe into over the last like 3-4 weeks that I normally wouldn't be into. A rhythm game, Rhythm Heaven Groove.
Oh wow! I would never have expected you to play that.
It's great. So I was exposed to it at the preview event for the Star Fox remake, because Nintendo was like, we also have this, and I'm like, what is this? Wasn't that like a DS game? And I played it and I had a blast. So when it came out, I bought it I've been playing it here and there. And it's just a really good, fun, simple rhythm game. Essentially, were you guys familiar with WarioWare?
Yeah. Yes.
No,
think of all the WarioWare mini games that were rhythm based.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a bunch of those where it's very, very simple, like bump, click, you win, like stuff like that, but just really creatively done. It's got really good like multiplayer ones, and it's also got some really creative spins on rhythm games where they add like almost like a turn-based RPG battler that is rhythm-based, where you play as a spellcaster. Ooh. And it's turn-based against enemies that you fight, and it's like you're timing and you're like bump, 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 and if you do that, you do a fire spell. But if you go bump, 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 then you do like a defense buff. Really, really cool ideas, and it's just been fun to kind of like hop in and chip away at, because also a lot of the music just kind of has that like brainworm, like where it just gets in your head, and then you just have like like you just like all these little quirky tunes like all day. I definitely recommend it, especially if you have somebody to play with. It's cool.
On my team, Ed has been playing and loving this. Like he's obsessed with this.
Oh, that's an Ed game.
Yeah, very much. Like he's totally into it. So yeah, that's cool. I never would have expected you to pick this up though. That's so funny.
No, me either. But I mean, shout out to Nintendo for exposing me to it, because I was like totally sold. Good stuff.
Nice.
I think we do a user question.
Yeah.
Especially because when we got this one and I read out who it was from, we all couldn't believe it. Hang on, Jelly. Yeah. This one is from Pavel Yazembowski. I hope I did not butcher your surname. Hello, friends. I hope you're all well. I've listened to each of you individually for years and to the podcast since day one. Last year, I became the head of video games and esports for the UK government.
So crazy.
What?
She's so crazy.
We didn't believe this. We had to look it up. We're like, what? How does this work? For which department?
And I met, and I was extremely fortunate to meet Lucy at the Video Game BAFTAs in April. So I did meet Pavel back then. I repeat to you what I said to her then. Sorry, cat. I really admire and love watching and listening to your work, be it super insightful, in-depth reviews, state of the industry updates, literal documentaries, game recommendations, personal takes, and especially the many tangents. Thank you. Enormous congratulations on reaching episode 100 and wishing you many, many more episodes and success. With all that being said, I finally figured it's time to submit you the question. When you discuss games together, you'll often remark that something is clearly, for sake of argument, a Lucy game. Having listened to you all for some time now, I can assume what that might be. In this case, perhaps a relatively short game from an indie developer which has puzzle elements and might provide social commentary on an important issue. Absolutely done me. Correct. But that is ultimately still just my assumption. So my question to you all is, what is it that most defines or characterizes your respective Lucy, Ralph, and Jake games, and which games best embody this for each of you? Massive congrats once more, and thank you for being the source of gaming insights, entertainment, and comfort for me and many others over the years.
I feel like we should answer this question for each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like Pavel has absolutely done me there. The only thing that I could say to add it would be about add something about grief. But what is, again, so let's do Ralph first.
Ralph is tricky because he likes a lot of things. I'd say
you're nodding his head.
Compelling just thinking of you in terms of like your angle where you're like a Destiny guy, a Diablo guy, like compelling gameplay loops, stuff you can really sink your teeth into, and also stuff that hooks you.
Yeah.
But then I also know you love a good story. Yeah, progression systems.
Yeah, elegant progression systems. You love a good story.
Yeah.
What else?
No kiddie stuff. You don't like little kid stuff.
You use words like throughput.
Just thinking of the Always Sunny in Philly, Danny DeVito song.
Which one?
Oh, I can't say it now. It's going to get...
Oh, God. Okay, probably the best. I was with someone the other day and they were trying to explain the implication. I was like, yeah, it's hard to explain that one to people who haven't seen it.
All right, let's put it this way. If I was on a desert island and you had to give me one game I would keep playing forever and no other game, which game would it be?
Well, it would have
been Quiz Hot Shot.
It would have been Destiny 2 up until about a year ago.
Pop Quiz Hot Shot, there's a Ralph on an island. What do you do? I would say, oh boy, that's tough. Maybe I don't
Probably
know
Diablo.
You I would say, but I would also say more something like Path of Exile because you're like weird and annoying.
Oh no, it would be Outer Wilds.
Diablo's a little casual. It's not casual, but you know what I mean? Like you need something a little more hardcore, a little different.
I know what you mean. And like I've always wanted to like, I know that when I eventually do sink my teeth into Path of Exile, it's just like, it's going to be a very dangerous thing. Because I've tried it, but at the same time I tried it and it was at a point where I tried Path of Exile 2 and it wasn't really ready for me yet personally to like really dive into it. But I know it's in a much better place now. I have it installed on my system. The new update apparently is fantastic. I'm actually like, that's super high on my priority to kind of just lose a lot of my life to that game. But I'm kind of putting it off until after the madness of September because otherwise nothing works, you know? But I do think that's like a good example of just like a very deep loot driven game that you can just play forever. So yeah, I think it's spot on. What about Jake? Jake Ass Games. I'm like, for some reason, Samson just comes to mind. Like it really does. It just comes to mind. Can we
say Max Payne or something? Jesus Christ!
It's about a dude and he's driving like old cars.
A cool
and it's like,
guy with a gun. Does
and like
tricks.
Exactly, and it's like old like Michael Mann kind of crime stuff meets like Max Payne. With that kind of like noir and shooting and like Americana without being like noir Americana. I think is you. With like a nice arcade kick to it, like like Tony Hawk, like combining Tony Hawk and Max Payne. There was actually a game that was like that called Rollerdrome.
From Roll 7.
Yeah, so I feel like those kinds of games would really work for Jake. That's a Jake ass game right safe. There. Yeah. Like a good arcade hook, like a good adult arcade hook. That's you, I think.
Yeah. I think you nailed it.
I think so.
I feel like I very much I'm down to be in the shoes of like a cool guy or a cool girl and like be sold an adventure. Like I want that. Not necessarily like a walking simulator. I mean like a real ass like thing. But also, I am a sucker for a good addictive gameplay loop that is really fun with maybe even a little like player expression in terms of like how you build out your character or how you do moves, or how you choose moves. Yeah. So basically Max Payne, Tony Hawk. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. And I think if like gun to head, which one would it be? I think if it's Desert Island, like I think it would be Tony Hawk for you just because you can keep playing it. But I think if you were only on that desert island for like a week because you knew you were going to die, then I would give you Max Payne.
Or get rescued.
Play it one last time. Or get that's less fun. You knew you were going to die. There was no one coming to rescue you. You have 1 week to live. Your Wilson is Max Payne.
The only thing I will say, Metal Gear Solid 1 would probably be the island game.
To die with or to play?
To die with.
Okay,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think if you were going to
replay it like once a year.
Yeah.
Oh, I just found on Facebook Marketplace. I'm meeting up with a guy tomorrow to buy. He had all the figures, like open box, because I have all the figures. I have like 2 of every Metal Gear figure, the original run sealed. But I want to take them out and play with them and put them on my shelf. So I found a guy who just was selling a bunch, and I'm going to meet him in a parking lot tomorrow with cash. Hopefully he doesn't kill me. Anyway.
I was going to say, tell someone where you are.
Yeah,
You have my location, I think, now. So
I think I do. I think you're one of my Sims. You're one of my Sims.
Check me.
Lucy Ass Game, I think, is a cozy game that has some weird fucked up vibes. Like I imagine like The Sims, but everyone has deep emotional trauma would be like the perfect Lucy game.
There are mods for that.
So yeah, there are mods for that. And I know you're really into detective games as well. So I think a cozy game with actually we need to make this now, come to think of it. There should be a cozy game that has a detective kind of loop to it, and it's set and everyone has deep-seated trauma and everyone's fucked up. Is there a game like this already? I feel like there should be.
I don't know if there's a game exactly like that. There's a game that I'm keeping my eye on called Ink Blood.
Yep.
Which is very detective game, fucked up, go back in time, incredible art style. Remains to be seen how messed up the main characters are and how much trauma they have though.
Sure.
So, yeah, I think, but honestly, I think if I was going to be on an island and I would be dying, it would be the Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh, yeah. No, that's it. That's a good one to experience one last time before you die. That's true. I agree with that.
Me crawling through this whatever island that I'm on, just like Shepard.
Yep.
You know.
I think that one of the Mass Effect people, like BioWare people from back in the day, came out recently saying that they can't remake.
Mark Dara,
because they're like no one knows how to use the engine or whatever.
It's for Dragon Age though. Not Mass
Effect. Was it Dragon Age, not Mass Effect?
Yeah, it was Dragon Age. Yeah. Because Dragon Age Origins was made in like a completely different engine. Mass Effect has always been Unreal.
They're never going to do that anyway. I love Dragon Age. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to see some kind of remake, but I just don't think there's enough demand for it. And EA, like, I just can't see them greenlighting anything like that. I mean,
the time would have been 24, 25 after Baldur's Gate came out, but then we had Fail God, so.
The Lucy game, for me, the ultimate Lucy game is like, it's like a game where you are entrusted with being a bathroom attendant and you have to manage the bathroom. But your uncle died.
Yeah. And you have to solve his murder.
Yeah, but also this bathroom exists in like the Sims world, right?
Or the Federal Bureau of Control.
And you have to solve the most banging your head against the wall puzzles.
You know what? I would play that game.
And there's a hot alien guy that you also get to hang out with.
Yeah.
That's it.
I really want to check out this Love in Deep Space game.
Oh.
Yeah. I really want to play it.
Is that the one with the anime boys?
That's one with all the anime boys, exactly. It's just so popular that I just want to see what it's actually like to play it. Have you played it?
No.
Okay.
A mutual friend of ours.
Is it pornographic?
No. Not in that way.
It gives a vibe.
I mean, it's very much simulating a relationship with the person who's written and, not a real person. Love in Deep Space is one of those games that I have such a fascination with, but I just know myself and I'm never going to play it. A lot of the story stuff is apparently, you've got to pay to get the really good stuff. I spend enough time on my phone. I don't need another reason to be on my phone.
Okay.
But also, it is wild. Like at Anime Expo, they flew in the official cosplayers for those characters, and you could have your photo. You could be with them for like 2 minutes, and they would do things like do this on your face, and take all these coupley photos with you. Right. But then also, we saw what happened with the fan base when they didn't like that recent character that they made. Valko, was it? I was there at Anime Expo the weekend, like just after they decided they were like, he's not going to be in the game.
Yep.
It's a big deal. I'll tell you who to talk to if you really want to get in deep on Love in Deep Space, because there is some shit about that game. Like it syncs with your menstrual cycle. If you put that information in your phone, and at like the first day of your period, your anime boyfriend will come up and be like, "Oh, hey, it's pretty rough. Like, here's some flowers and chocolate."
What is this game?
What the fuck, man?
What did I just hear?
Did you not know that?
No, I had no idea. That is fucked up. That is crazy.
Yeah, hang on. I mean, I'm not sure if it still does it, but that's Love.
Oh my god!
You have games like that, and then you have Donkey Kong Bonanza, where you could just punch all the walls.
Yeah. Features an optional.
Okay.
Yeah. So characters send comforting, expert-reviewed notes and advice tailored to your cycle phase.
So it's like ChatGPT. It's like you have a ChatGPT romance. My own.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's, wow. Okay, fair enough. Yep.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. Maybe we should try it this week.
Which is wild because I imagine like if you're in your luteal phase, I imagine. Oh god, I don't know.
We should review it. I want to see the game ranks before you buy on Love and Deep Space. I reckon it would actually pop off.
Austin recommends.
I reckon it would go viral for sure. I actually believe that unironically. It'd be sick. So
we used to do more like goofy things like that. We reviewed the Soldier Boy console. we used to really take the piss out of stuff.
We could still do it.
Yeah, we should.
Man.
Maybe we should.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a great question.
That was a great question. Yeah. Thank you very much to Pavel, aka the head of video games and esports for the UK government.
Insane.
We have We have
really insane.
Such influence. Which is crazy.
That's right.
What else
do you guys over there now? They got a new one, right? They got a new guy.
I don't know. Oh, what's his name?
Andy Burnham or something?
Andy Burnham. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. How many is that now?
Don't worry, I'm an Australian. You still got a long way to catch up before you catch up to our numbers.
I wish it was still Hugh Grant.
He's still Hugh Grant doing the dance.
It was the high point for the British parliament system. Hugh Grant, absolutely.
I think the lettuce was a pretty good one.
No, I agree. That was great. It was really great.
Have you guys been playing anything else?
I have only been playing one up. Sorry, Jake?
Sorry, I was saying that's all I could really talk about now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm playing one other thing that I'm not allowed to talk about yet because it's not even revealed yet, but I like it and I'm going to talk about it later.
Oh, okay.
Nice little game, but it's fun. It's cool and I'm excited to talk about it later. Yeah, that's all I can say for now.
Interesting. I've been playing something that if you subscribe to my newsletter, you already know what I'm going to talk about. It's called Clicky Islands.
Okay.
It is being published by Pocket Pair, which is how it came on my radar. It's like two developers in Poland. And it is incremental meets clicker meets city builder meets resource management. And it fucking rips. Oh my god. So basically your whole thing is that you are a governor, you work for the king, and the king has set you out to go and find islands and basically develop them, build them up, and add them to the kingdom. So just by clicking on stuff, you gather resources, you send stuff back to the mainland or whatever to get gold and use that gold to upgrade how effective your clicking is, how strong and powerful your units are. And then you gradually use your gold to fully upgrade the area from being, like barren land to a village to a settlement to a town to a city to a kingdom. Yep. Real good. It is ultimate lizard brain. And I am kind of obsessed with it. I'm really sad. There's also meta narrative. There's also meta progression in between each different island. So by doing stuff like leveling up your place, you get reputation. You then spend that on upgrades and perks that then go into the next island that you find. So you can upgrade to be able to go fishing, and so then you'll be able to fish and do other things. And so I just unlocked beehives. I'm really excited about new resource, baby. And so you're getting more and more gold. It is just pure lizard brain. It is so
It sounds like something I'd want to play on my phone.
It's mobile only?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on phones. Actually, no, it's not yet. No? So there is an itch demo available, which is I think it's the same as, I think it's a little bit different, maybe a little bit older than the current Steam demo. But yeah, it is real good.
Okay.
It's really good.
Nice. When's it out? Is there a date for it?
No date for it yet, I don't think.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but sooner, hopefully.
If we sign up to your newsletter, do we get sent a demo?
You get a link to the Steam page.
Oh, damn.
Where can we sign up for that newsletter?
You can go up to lookingfor.game. But if you sign up, you can go get an exclusive demo for Sister of the Paranoia.
Okay.
Which is a fucked up visual novel from, of course, Serenity Forge and Hayes Denki. So you can get a key for that one.
Cool.
And another game that I played recently, I played a demo for a game called The House Dreams Along with Them, which is a first-person puzzle game, which very much, they say in the marketing, like, inspired by House of Leaves, and I feel like that could be a blessing and a curse. But I think they do nail the feeling of a very otherworldly house with secrets, and the thing that I really liked about it is that there's sort of like normality during the day, and then you, as the character, you have to go and like press B to crouch, press right trigger to close your eyes, press left trigger to breathe, and then go to sleep. And then when you're asleep, you're in this twisted version of the house, and there are all these puzzles to solve. So the demo was quite short, maybe 45 minutes to solve everything for me, but I like the vibe. I wonder if the art style might be holding it back a little bit. It feels a little too, I don't know. It doesn't quite feel or look as dreamlike as it can be. Because then sometimes when you're in all these awful pieces of furniture that are rusty and there's fire or something, like there's a really cool level that they do where the floor is lava.
Yep.
So there's some really cool moments in that. I think
it almost reminds me of Myst, like just the way it looks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like stark.
Like very stark. But you've got the outside of the house, which is really beautiful and filled with trees and stuff. So maybe it's a narrative thing. But I played that and enjoyed that. And then the other thing is the incident at Galley House, which is chef's kiss.
That I heard is spectacular. Reviews.
Very, very good. I was going to say, if Ed Tran hasn't played it yet.
No,
Ed Tran hasn't played it.
He played through it and finished it before it came out.
Yes, good.
Yes.
Good.
So
My Ed and I our tastes align quite a lot. And Incident at Galley House is a remake of a typing game called Type Help. This one they've added acting and they've added like actual 3D and 2D environments to it. And it is worked on by its developer, but also it was swooped up by the folks who made The Root Trees Are Dead.
That's right. Yeah.
There you go.
Very cool. You are putting together a timeline. You're trying to figure out why all these people in this house are dead. Really, really great. I really recommend it, especially if you like root trees. There is a lot of overlap there.
Yep.
Man,
cool. Nice.
You've been busy.
Hashtag gaming. Someone asked me the day, he was like, what do you do all day? And I was like, well, when I'm not on emails or calls, I'm doing this. Or writing.
Nice.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we bring this bad boy home?
Show and tell. What's everyone got?
First of all, have we talked about the Odyssey since it came out?
No.
So have you guys seen it?
I've seen it.
Yes.
Okay, I have not seen it yet.
You're seeing it Friday?
I'm seeing it Friday, doing a double feature, double Holland Zendaya feature. I'm doing Odyssey in the morning. I'm doing Spider-Man in the afternoon. I'm very excited. But tell me, off the dome, Odyssey, yay or nay? Is it good? Should I go see it?
Yes.
Tell me.
You should go see
Okay.
it.
Well, I'm going to see it anyway. So there we go. That's good. That's settled.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've justified your ticket.
You love it?
Are you going in? I don't think it's like the greatest movie ever made.
Okay, sure.
I think there was something just very.
It's no Hook. It's no Steven Spielberg Hook, for example. That's fine. I understand. Not all movies can be.
Nothing can be. Yeah, I don't know. There was something about it where there's. I did see it in the big screen. Ooh, that's my shoulder. Did you hear that?
Yes, actually.
Impressive.
Christ.
Great.
Oh, needed that. I did see it in the big screen format.
Same.
Otherwise, Jeff would have been very disappointed.
As Nolan intended.
That's right.
And I think part of it, there is that incredible sense of scale. There's incredible practical effects. I think in terms of casting, Tom Holland really stuck out for me.
Everyone says he's kind of pretty mid in this.
Yes, and it took me out because he's I don't know what it was, but I think the Cyclops bit was certainly a very an absolute standout for me. The big boys. I think even if you are not interested in it, I think it is a cultural touch point in time where people are obviously talking about it and dissecting it. You've got the woman who translated the poem who's saying, I would be ashamed to have written that script, which is
pretty strong.
Big strong words there.
I really, really enjoyed it. I think that pacing wise, I wanted it to feel more like an Odyssey. I think by Nolan doing his structure and how he likes to kind of go back and forth, it kind of took away a little bit from it feeling like this really big, long beginning to end journey. I think it nailed the emotion. I also really loved the Odyssey. Like, it was like the book you read in school, and it's like one of the ones I actually really took to. So I like that. Like, some of it really was how I imagined things in my head, because there aren't a ton of adaptations about this. Like, there are other things that reference the Odyssey, but like, I like that there were a lot of moments that like kind of played out in my head. Like, when he's stringing the bow, I like was like, I'm gonna cry. This is so fucking cool. Like, just stuff like that. But yeah, I think I wish it was like, I felt a little more like a real Odyssey. Also, you know, Nolan's best instincts, he still feels like he doesn't like the fantastical too much, where he's just like, okay, yeah, we'll get through this part. Okay, we'll do this part. And I wish it just spent more time on some of the iconic moments of the Odyssey. But yeah, no, I thought it was really good. I thought the last act was incredible. And yeah, it's definitely one of his better movies.
Robert Pattinson also.
Let him always play a sniveling weird
Let
freak.
him always be fucking weird. He's fantastic in it.
He said he was basing his performance on Lester Diamond from Casino.
Wow.
So sick. What an incredible jumping off point. Lester Diamond in Casino. Incredible.
What a weird guy. I love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm going to, obviously I think everyone I've spoken to is like, look, it's not the greatest movie ever made, but it's a good film. It's a good time. Yeah. And I'm glad. So, yeah.
The 3
really
hours
good in the
does
movie
not
theater.
feel like a 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very like.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do have a similar movie I watched like right after Mortal Kombat 2.
Okay, very similar. Yeah.
Oh
very
my
similar.
God. It was like the whiplash I got. It was just like a bunch of people on a shitty green screen.
How is it? Because I really like the first one.
How much do you like Mortal Kombat lore?
No, I don't care.
I think that's what this movie gets by on, is like, if you see Baraka and you go, oh, that's Baraka, then like, this is the movie for you. It was really entertaining. I thought Carl Urban was really good.
Okay.
Even if he's like kind of an oddball choice for Johnny Cage, I think it really worked. His American accent needs to be banned though.
Okay, hang on. His British accent also needs to be banned. I just think fundamentally the man can't do an accent.
It sounds good to me.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it was fine. It was entertaining. I liked the first one, but I think this one kind of just leaned more into Mortal Kombat. It didn't try and like do something crazy. It literally brings in the guy from the last Mortal Kombat movie, the guy that was like the vessel for like, you know, introing into this world, Cole. And they kill his ass like immediately. They're like, yeah, he's still here. And then they're like, get out of here. The movie felt like it felt like it was obligated to include Scorpion and Bi-Han, even though the first movie, like, they blew it all on that. But then they were like, oh, it's a Mortal Kombat movie. We got to have Scorpion fight Sub-Zero, right? So it kind of like felt like it just hard left turned into that for a while. But it was entertaining. It's a good time if you're drunk. Like, it's like one of those.
Yeah, nice. Excellent. The only like because I've been working so much this last couple of weeks, actually, the only like video game thing that I think I've consumed is like a documentary about Rafael Nadal. Like, literally, it's on Netflix. And you know what? It's a great watch. I really recommend it, because this guy's like an incredible athlete.
Incredible player.
What he did, and also what he pushed through. And his uncle was like kind of fucked up and mean, and in his own sort of, not really mean, but like he was just a really hard man, and kind of just drove him into the ground at some point. And it was just a really fascinating story about a athlete who kind of struggled his entire life, like with pain. Like, basically this guy also, his foot was fucked up, and he kind of had to walk on these remedial insoles while also chugging down like ibuprofen every day of his life, to the point where he's got like holes in his intestines just so he could keep playing. Jesus. And he still manages to like win so many tournaments that they build a fucking statue to him at one of the grounds, because they're like, well, no one's ever going to do better than this guy, so let's just build a statue now while he's still playing. You know what I mean? So really fantastic documentary, really incredible player. And also he's just a really chill, humble guy. Like, you know how our like really successful athletes, you know, it goes to their head or whatever, but he's not like that. He's super humble, just really like a nice person, and yeah, just a really good watch. So Rafa, it's called. It's on Netflix.
Does it go into his relationship with Federer?
Yes.
I think in terms of like tennis fans, having Federer and Nadal at the same time was magical.
Yeah, of course. And it goes into that, but at the same time, it doesn't dwell on it too much. It really wants to center the story on Rafa and, but yeah, it definitely deals with those rivalries with like Djokovic and whatever. There's actually a Djokovic documentary coming out like next week on Netflix. So all these guys are just at the end of their careers. And there was also, because there was a Federer documentary that came out like last year. So yeah, it's a good time. If you're a tennis fan, it's good to watch. Even if you're not a tennis fan, it's just fascinating to watch, these things. It's no Last Dance, I'll put it that way, which I think is still the peak of any sports documentary I've ever watched. Correct?
Yeah.
Please in the comment section, tell me if there's a better one. I'd love to watch it. But it's still a nice time. It's still a really good story. It's still like a person who's worth learning about, I think, because he's did some amazing stuff. So yeah.
I watched a movie called The Invite, which is directed by Olivia Wilde, who also stars in it. There's only 4 actors in it: Olivia Wilde, Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, and Edward Norton. It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's about 2 couples. They are neighbors. And it is. I don't want to tell you the conceit or anything about it. I went in knowing nothing. I hadn't even seen a trailer. I only went because my friend went to see it by herself, and she said, I'm furious that I saw that by myself because there are so many moments that I wanted to like react to in front of all of you. I think it is the best film I've seen this year.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
And I genuinely think I didn't like The Odyssey as much as because I saw this the day before.
Right.
And then I went to see The Odyssey, and I was so pumped up after such an incredible cinema experience with this. Also, I went to see it as the World Cup final was on, which maybe I've done it. Maybe I found the ultimate cinema going experience. It's just do it when everyone is watching the bizarre as fuck halftime show at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Did you watch that, by the way?
No.
Bizarre. Okay. Bizarre. But no, it's so funny. There are moments in it that physically pained me. It's emotional. I had a blast with it. I bought the blouse that she is wearing in that film immediately. Right. That's what I was wearing at Comic-Con. I was like, that blouse is incredible. I'm going to buy it.
You were influenced.
I was immediately influenced by Olivia Wilde. And it's also written, one of the writers is Rashida Jones.
Okay.
The actor Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
And the script is so sharp. It is, though all of those characters felt so real.
Cool.
Especially because it's set in San Francisco, and I was like, "Oh, I've met that person.
Like, that's where I live.
I've met that guy."
Yeah.
But no, I really recommend it.
Excellent. Cool.
Oh, I saw Obsession.
Oh yeah, you like it?
Oh yeah, really good.
Yeah,
really good. Worth the hype. Unbelievable.
And Backrooms.
Didn't see that.
Still haven't seen that one either. I'm just so behind. Yeah.
You'll catch up in September.
Exactly right.
Maybe October. Maybe November.
October. Then after it calms down, and then GTA and what, it's just like, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how much time we have for life in the next couple of months. Interesting.
All right, I think that about does it for another episode of the Friends Perspective podcast. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, listening, for rating us on podcast platforms. We really appreciate it, and we will see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Tie your shoes and go to bed. Good night. Good day.